alert canceled, a body found. Law enforcement believe it's most likely the body of 19-year-old Camila Olmos. The body has yet to be formally identified. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says search crews found it just 10 minutes into their search Tuesday at the Burn Bush Landscaping Company, a few hundred yards away from Camila's home. A firearm was found near the body. It was in the area that had already been searched earlier.
At this point, we don't suspect foul play. As you all know, one of the possibilities that we were working under was the fear of self-harm. And at this point, there are some indicators that the body that we found may be as a result of that.
Again, a gun was found near the body, and some of Olmos's relatives are saying a gun is currently missing from the home. The sheriff says they have not yet confirmed if it's the same gun investigators found at the scene.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. This is Justin Paul. I wanted to cover this story here after really listening to this news clip because it's a lesson to be learned in all of this. They've yet to identify whether this is the body of Camila Olmos. And I had seen, a lot of clips of them, like national clips where, they were reporting her missing and they were looking for her and stuff like that. I think she was 19 years old. And very, very tragic, man. My heart goes out to her family. They said they had searched the area where they found her body earlier, but they didn't find anything. According to authorities, it was very tall grass, and they said that the area where they found her body was on private property, so they had to get permission in order to search that area. I'm gonna let the news clip play a little bit more here so we can, get a lot more information. But they're saying that it was a possibility, that it was a case of self-harm. Which, it's definitely another thing that we're facing here in America as far as, people not really having the mental capacity to deal with certain things. And it's very serious, whether people want to do harm to themselves or want to do harm to others. We have to really take that serious. And I always say, talk to your teens or talk to your little ones or even adults, try to talk to someone. But, sometimes talking really isn't enough. And I really don't have all the answers, so I don't want to really sit here and pretend like I do. But, we definitely have to take this stuff a lot more serious. And if we are around people who, have had signs of depression or just signs of just not really mentally being there, struggling with everyday life, not necessarily doing any of the normal activities that they normally do, having trouble in school, having trouble performing at work, kind of want to monitor those people, keep encouraging them, just keep letting them know, there's a brighter day, through all the clouds and the storm that you may be going through. And really, the only thing you can do is try to do that. I'm very sure her family was supportive of her. And, it's definitely a huge loss for her family. So, again, my heart and condolences goes out to her family.
For how the body could have been overlooked in the first round of searches, it was in an area that had already been searched days before. However, Sheriff Salazar says the area has high grass, and search crews couldn't get into it thoroughly because it was private property. Laura Whitmire of Search and Support also told us the area where the body was found could be accessed without a road, which could explain why ring cameras did not capture any movement.
Of course, nobody wants to believe that this could be the outcome. And she was always such a lovely young lady, always smiling, always bright, always pleasant, that if she had these deep issues, she hid it very well.
Sheriff Salazar says when speaking with her family, they mentioned that Camila was struggling at school and work and having a hard time with a recent breakup with her boyfriend. If you or someone you know is going through a hard time and are having suicidal thoughts, the Suicide and Crisis Hotline is 988. Someone will take the call and refer you to the help that you need. The Bexar County
Um, as they just gave out, that number there. I think that's in Texas, but all across America in every state, there's going to be a like a suicide prevention hotline or a crisis prevention hotline, somewhere where you could call and get the proper help that's needed. The family did mention that she was struggling with a recent breakup with a boyfriend, and again, my heart goes out to the family. And as the lady was just saying, from the search and support there, it's now she was, very happy, always smiling. So if she was going through anything, she hid it very well. And most of the time, people who are going through stuff, they're going to be able to hide it. And sometimes, they may not ever show any signs that they're going through what they're going through. And you would just hope that they would be comfortable enough to talk to someone about it. The family obviously knew that she was going through like a breakup with her boyfriend, and it really sucks, man, because you never know how things can work out. Like, even though you go through a little breakup, you might get back together. You might be able to just work on yourself, better yourself. Maybe meet someone else that makes you even happier than the person that you were with. And I know in the time, like, when this stuff happens, you're down in the dumps. But it's just sad, especially if there's no foul play that's going to be reported on this, because a lot of stuff kind of just raises your suspicions as far as them searching that area, and then they didn't find anything. And we only can believe what they're reporting to us and stuff like that. But as long as nothing new comes in as far as updates of like foul play, or this turns into a homicide, it's just a very, very sad situation. And again, if you're going through anything, whether you're depressed or just really at a really maxed out mentally, fatigued, really can't concentrate, have a whole lot bearing on your shoulders, try to talk to someone, you know, try to get it all out, get it off your chest, and hopefully the person you confide in or talk to is able to give you some encouraging words, some good advice, something that you can kind of go off of and it sticks with you so that you can make it through. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video though. Again, my condolences to her family. Very, very tragic. This definitely not the news that you want to hear about your teenager with so much life to live. You got so much life to live, and it's just a very, very tragic situation all the way around. But if you like my content, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.